What comes to mind when you think of the most astonishing man-made inventions? Artificial intelligence or the James Webb Telescope? There's more to the incredible intelligence of humans. Join me as we explore some of the most jaw-dropping human-made wonders from ancient times to the present day. The last, a newly completed project, will leave you utterly speechless. 39. Parthenon. The Parthenon, situated atop the Acropolis, is known all over the world as one of the most iconic structures. A trip to Athens would be incomplete without a visit to this extraordinary temple. Construction work began on the Parthenon in 447 BC, following the Persians' destruction of an older temple. It was finally completed in 432 BC. Initially, the purpose of the Parthenon was to house an imposing statue of Athena Parthenos, crafted from ivory, silver, and gold. However, in the 5th century, the statue was plundered by a Roman emperor and taken to Constantinople. Throughout its extensive existence, the multifaceted Parthenon has functioned as a fortress, church, mosque, and even a powder magazine. This impressive structure, built centuries ago when there was no advanced technological equipment, still stands to date. 38. Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal, an immense mausoleum made of white marble, was constructed between 1632 and 1653 at the behest of the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his beloved wife. It is one of the world's most well-preserved and architecturally stunning tombs, a masterpiece of Mughal architecture and a significant global heritage site. Often referred to as a teardrop on the cheek of eternity, the Taj Mahal is more than just a monument. It is a complex of interconnected structures. In addition to the white-domed marble mausoleum, it features several other exquisite buildings, reflective pools, and expansive ornamental gardens filled with flowering trees and bushes. Next is one of the wonders that made me speechless for a long time. 37. The Banaue Rice Terraces. Hailed as one of the most sought-after tourist attractions in the Philippines, the Banaue Rice Terraces is a must-see for everyone. The sheer grandeur and timeless beauty are indescribable. Esteemed by locals as the 8th wonder of the modern world, these magnificent terraces bear testament to the indomitable spirit and remarkable engineering prowess of the ancient indigenous Ifugao tribes. Imbued with a rich cultural heritage, these breathtaking landscapes have defied the ravages of time for well over 2 millennia. A real proof of the audacity and unwavering determination of those who carved them meticulously into the awe-inspiring mountains and undulating hillsides. 36. La Sagrada Família. Barcelona is renowned for the unique architecture of Antoni Gaudi, a beloved figure in the city. Gaudi's style is indescribable, featuring a captivating blend of curves, colors, and textures that resemble both the work of a master and something a child might craft out of Play-Doh. Among his exceptional creations, La Sagrada Família stands out as an extraordinary masterpiece. The construction of this church began in 1882, and remarkably, it is still ongoing, with completion projected for 2026. Resembling a magnificent sandcastle formed by dripping sand, La Sagrada Família boasts numerous towering spires and intricate details along its roof. Stone and plaster sculptures, along with vibrant pinnacles, embellish the church's exterior. Moreover, this remarkable structure is home to some of the world's most astonishing stained glass windows. 35. Easter Island. The Moai, world-famous monolithic statues, can be found on Easter Island, one of the most isolated islands on Earth. These impressive sculptures were carved by the Polynesian colonizers of the island, primarily between 1250 AD and 1500 AD. The purpose of the Moai was twofold: to honor deceased ancestors and to symbolize the authority and strength of important chiefs who once ruled the island. Among them, the tallest Moai, known as Paro, stood at an impressive height of almost 10 meters, 33 feet, and weighed a staggering 75 tons. When Europeans arrived on the island, they found the statues still intact. However, in subsequent conflicts between clans, most of the statues were toppled. Nowadays, approximately 50 Moai have been restored and can be seen either on Easter Island or in museums around the world. 34. Agra Fort, India. If I hadn't been here myself, I wouldn't be convinced of the majestic beauty of this structure. This is one of the magnificent wonders of India. The first Mughal emperor, Akbar, built the fort in 1565 from a simple material of red sandstones. Architects laid the foundation, and it was built with bricks in the inner core with sandstone on external surfaces. 4,000 builders worked on it daily for 8 years, completing it in 1573. If you've never been there, you should know by now that this must be a huge building. His successors, Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb, later expanded the fort. Shah Jahan built the imperial quarters and mosque, while Aurangzeb added the outer parts. It was first built to accommodate the military, but Shah Jahan transformed it into a palace. And ironically, the same fort served as his prison when his son seized power in 1658. As the main residence of diverse emperors, it was a repertoire of royalties. The crescent-shaped fort's colossal double walls rise over 20 meters in height and measure 2.5 kilometers in circumference. It contains a maze of buildings, forming a city within a city, including vast underground sections, though the British, who used it as a garrison, have destroyed many of the structures. Sorry. Even today, much of the fort is used by the military and so is off-limits to the general public. When the capital of India shifted to Delhi, the fort became a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The fort is just a few kilometers from the famous Taj Mahal. 33. Pyramids of Giza. The Giza necropolis, located near the southwestern suburbs of Cairo, is widely considered the most famous ancient site in the world. It is home to the Pyramids of Giza, which were constructed in 3 different stages by Khufu, his son Khafre, and Menkaure. The oldest and only remaining wonder of the ancient world, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, was built using over 2 million blocks of stone over a period of about 20 years, concluding around 2560 BC. With a towering height of 139 meters, 455 feet, it holds the distinction of being the largest pyramid in Egypt, although Khafre's pyramid nearby appears larger due to its elevated position. 32. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. This temple complex in Cambodia, adorned with intricate decorations and originally built for Hindu worship, gained significance as a major pilgrimage site during the Middle Ages. Today, Angkor Wat is held in reverence by people of all faiths for its masterful construction, which includes 5 towering structures, elaborate bas-reliefs sculpted into stone, and its distinction as the largest religious monument in the world. The temple's appearance, with nature reclaiming some of its ruins and intertwining with its architecture, evokes imagery reminiscent of an adventure film, massive trees seemingly growing out of the very stone. The Angkor region as a whole boasts numerous temples worth exploring, but Angkor Wat is widely regarded as the most exceptional within the area, so much so that it even graces Cambodia's national flag. 31. Sydney Opera House. Even if you have never attended an opera, chances are you recognize the iconic Sydney Opera House in Australia. This magnificent structure has been hailed as a masterpiece of human creativity, not only in the 20th century but throughout history. The UNESCO World Heritage Report acknowledges its significance and highlights its architectural brilliance. Built in the late 1950s and officially opened in 1973, the Opera House's vaulted shells rest beautifully on the shores of Sydney Harbour. Their design is both contemporary and emotive, providing a dramatic backdrop that perfectly complements the performing arts showcased inside. Here's an interesting tidbit. The roofs of these shells are adorned with 1,056,006 unique Sydney tiles made from a special blend of clay and crushed stone. 30. Chichen Itza. This captivating structure is situated in Yucatan, Mexico. From a distance, it resembles a magnificent stairhole reaching towards the clouds. Dating back to 600 AD, this remarkable site encompasses numerous paved roads and multiple stone buildings, some of which have been meticulously restored. The ancient city showcases a diverse range of archaeological styles and is believed to have housed the most cosmopolitan Mayan population in the world. Covering an expansive area of at least 5 square kilometers, you can but wonder about the intellectual prowess of those who constructed it. 29. The Blue Mosque. In Istanbul, Turkey, you'll find a plethora of stunning monuments. Among these, the Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque are particularly remarkable. The Hagia Sophia, once a church and now a museum, along with the Blue Mosque, are the most captivating. Although these two structures have some similarities in design, it is the Blue Mosque that truly shines with its intricate and refined architecture. This magnificent mosque features 6 elegant minarets, a main dome, and 8 smaller domes. Inside, it is adorned with 20,000 vibrant ceramic Iznik tiles in shades of blue, green, and turquoise, which have earned it the nickname Blue Mosque. The interior decorations also include reds and yellows, complemented by exquisite gold calligraphy, forming intricate patterns, geometric bands, and medallions. These motifs depict various elements such as flowers, fruit, and cypress trees. This structure is a beauty to behold. 28. Mont-Saint-Michel. Although the monastery is beautiful up close, what truly sets it apart is the breathtaking view from a distance. Located off the northern shore of France in Normandy, Mont-Saint-Michel sits on a small but steep outcropping on a tiny island. On misty days, it appears to be floating above the clouds, with the abbey's spire reaching towards the heavens. During high tide, the island is surrounded by water, but at low tide, a sandy pathway leads to the village below. The uncertainty of the abbey's surroundings must have created a sense of danger and intrigue during the Middle Ages when it was built. Even today, its mystique still captivates. 27. Burj Khalifa. From ancient to modern times, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai stands out as a magnificent blend of high-tech innovation and aesthetic elegance. Soaring over 820 meters, it holds the title of the tallest building in the world. Its sleek design features a succession of slender cylinders that gracefully ascend towards the sky, culminating in a needle-like pinnacle. Completed in 2010, this architectural masterpiece captivates with its shimmering facade, thanks to the application of reflective glazing and approximately 26,000 meticulously hand-cut glass panels. The beauty of the Burj Khalifa lies in its refined sophistication, which draws inspiration from nature itself. The floor plan takes cues from the Himanocalyst, commonly known as the spider lily, a native desert flower that flourishes in this region. 26. Christ the Redeemer. Located within the magnificent Tijuca Forest National Park in the lively city of Rio de Janeiro, proudly stands the iconic statue atop the majestic Corcovado mountain. Boasting an impressive height of 130 feet, this monumental structure towers above the landscape, casting a watchful eye over the bustling city below. Weighing an astounding 635 tons, the statue is a remarkable feat of engineering and craftsmanship. Crafted meticulously from a combination of reinforced concrete and soapstone, the statue exudes unparalleled grandeur and enduring elegance. Its construction spanned from 1922 to 1931. Nestled amidst the lush greenery of Tijuca Forest National Park, the statue serves as a majestic symbol of the city's rich cultural heritage and religious devotion. 25. St. Basil's Cathedral. This vibrant church resembles a delectable candy confection, adorned with bright colors, lively patterns, and swirling stripes on its onion-shaped domes, reminiscent of icing on a cupcake. Built in 1561 by Ivan IV, also known as Ivan the Terrible, this Russian landmark stands proudly in Moscow's Red Square. At first glance, its mixture of colors and shapes may seem bewildering, but it is precisely this unexpected whimsical design that adds to its charm. The layout of the church is unexpectedly organized, featuring 8 chapels surrounding a central church. Originally, the church may have been white with golden domes, but the addition of hues 100 years later bestowed it with a truly unique style. 24. The Empire State Building. This iconic Art Deco skyscraper has become legendary throughout the years. King Kong has once climbed its towering heights, and lovers marry atop it on Valentine's Day. As the most photographed building in the world, the Empire State Building has dominated the New York skyline for nearly a century. Opened to the public in 1931, it boasts an impressive 102 floors and stands at a height of 381 meters. For 4 decades, it held the title of the world's tallest building until the construction of the World Trade Center in 1970. The building's sleek silhouette rises to a glass tube that is adorned with modern birdwing buttresses, paying homage to the architectural style of the 1920s and 30s. Perched at the top of the tube, just before the spire, lies the prestigious 102nd floor. While the Chrysler Building, which opened in 1930, is a worthy contender in terms of beauty, the Empire State Building surpassed its rival in height and popularity to claim the title of the city's most iconic landmark. 23. Valley of the Kings. A visit to this architectural marvel in Luxor, Egypt is a must-do for anyone with a passion for Egyptian history. The Valley of the Kings, located in the hills behind Deir al-Bahri, was an integral part of the ancient city of Thebes. This burial site served as the final resting place for the majority of the kings, pharaohs, from the 18th, 19th, and 20th dynasties, from 1539 to 1075 BCE, spanning from Thutmose I to Ramses X. With a total of 62 known tombs, the Valley of the Kings offers a diverse array of layouts and decorative styles. 22. The Forbidden City. This royal palace complex in Beijing, China, with its ominous name, is an astounding marvel of Chinese architecture. Completed in 1420, the Forbidden City consists of multiple buildings encircled by a 3-kilometer-long wall and a moat. It is adorned with exquisite decorations, predominantly in yellow and red, featuring vibrant elements, mythical creatures, and distinctively designed swooping roofs. Due to the emperor's status as a son of heaven, ordinary people were not permitted entry, earning its forbidden reputation. The centerpiece of the Forbidden City is the Hall of Supreme Harmony, the largest building that houses the throne on 3-tiered marble terraces surrounded by royal residences. 21. Machu Picchu, Peru. One of the most stunning and awe-inspiring ancient sites on our planet, Machu Picchu was uncovered in 1911 by Hawaiian historian Hiram after being concealed for centuries above the Urubamba Valley. Known as the Lost City of the Incas, it remains hidden from view from below and is an entirely self-contained oasis, protected by terraced farms and nourished by natural springs. Although recognized by locals, it remained largely unknown until its rediscovery in 1911. Since then, Machu Picchu has become Peru's most prominent tourist attraction. 20. Trevi Fountain, Fontana di Trevi. In the maze of Rome's narrow, meandering streets lies a dazzling jewel, known as the triumph of Baroque finesse and the inherent artistry of water. It stands as one of the most breathtaking fountains in the world, a true work of art. Trevi Fountain is far from being a mere cold block of marble. Instead, it dances with the interplay of light, shadow, and wind, moving in a mesmerizing rhythm that captures the subconscious attention of its hypnotized audience. Even when pressed for time, visitors go great lengths to witness this awe-inspiring spectacle once more. 19. Great Wall of China. This mind-blowing man-made edifice needs no introduction. The Great Wall of China was constructed, reconstructed, and maintained from the 5th century BC to the 16th century AD. Its purpose was to protect the northern borders of the Chinese Empire from attacks by the Zhonglu tribes. Over time, multiple walls were built and given the name Great Wall. One of the most well-known sections was built between 220 and 206 BC by the first emperor of China, but only remnants of that wall remain today. The majority of the existing wall was constructed during the Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644 AD. Recently, an extensive archaeology survey revealed that the entire Great Wall, including all its branches, spans a length of 8,851.8 kilometers, 5,500.3 miles. 18. Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan, an ancient Mesoamerican city, is located 30 miles 50 kilometers northeast of modern-day Mexico City. Designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987, the origins, history, and culture of the city remain largely mysterious. Teotihuacan spans over 8 square miles, 20 square kilometers, and is organized in a grid pattern. It consists of approximately 2,000 single-story apartment complexes, along with various pyramids, plazas, temples, and palaces for the nobles and priests. The main structures of Teotihuacan are connected by a road known as the Avenue of the Dead. This road measures 130 feet, 40 meters in width, and stretches for 1.5 miles, 2.4 kilometers. Interestingly, the Avenue of the Dead is orientated slightly east at 15.5 degrees and leads precisely towards the nearby sacred peak of Cerro Gordo, which is an extinct volcano. Notably, the city boasts several significant architectural wonders, including the Pyramid of the Moon, Pyramid of the Sun, the Ciutadella, also known as the Citadel, and the Temple of Quetzalcoatl, known as the Feathered Serpent. 17. Corinth Canal. The Corinth Canal is another piece of evidence of man's ability to invent even the seemingly impossible. This is a canal that cut through a mountain. Work on the canal began in 1882 and opened in 1893. The canal is 6.3 kilometers long and has a water depth of 8 meters. Its width varies from a minimum of 21 meters at the bottom to a maximum of 25 meters at the water's surface. The canal has brought great economic benefits to the ports of Postihonia at its northwest end and Izmir at its southeast end. People have been visiting the site to gaze at one of the greatest achievements of man. Now it has become the second most visited tourist landmark in Greece. The site is breathtaking when you look at it from above or when you stand on it. 16. BAGAN temples and pagodas. This is not a fairy tale, but a reality. The ancient city of Bagan in the Mandalay region of Myanmar is home to numerous temples that are both impressive and fascinating. Bagan's plain is one of the most significant archaeological sites in Asia and has been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site to protect the religious structures and architecture of Myanmar. Originally, there were over 13,000 temples in this ancient city, built between the 9th and 13th centuries. However, some of these temples have been vandalized and destroyed, and now only about 2,300 temples remain within the Bagan archaeological zone, sprawling across an area of 104 square kilometers. 15. Sheikh Saheed Mosque. The sublime beauty of the Sheikh Saheed Mosque would make you wonder if there's an end to what man can wonderfully create. The Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque is the largest in the UAE and is believed to be the third largest mosque in the world. Spread across 12 hectares of land, the mosque is big enough to accommodate more than 40,000 worshippers at a time. Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque has 82 domes of varying sizes, with the biggest one being 85 meters high and 32.8 meters in diameter. The interiors of these domes are adorned with intricate Moroccan art. Part of its everlasting beauty can be attributed to the white marble. That's the first thing that will catch your eye once you draw nearer to the mosque. It was built with 100,000 tons of white marble imported from Macedonia. Did you know that the mosque was constructed for 11 years? Construction of the mosque began in 1996, but it wasn't until 2007 that the Sheikh Zayed Mosque was opened for worship. During these 11 years, it took 38 different contracting companies and more than 3,000 workers and artisans to make the vision come true. The fusion of diverse architectural styles also increases the grandeur of the mosque. One can cite the Moorish, Mughal, and Persian ways of building, as well as traces of Arabic architecture of Moroccan, Mameluke, and Andalusian origins throughout the different elements of the mosque. Also, this mosque has the largest hand-knotted mat in the world, known as the Persian carpet. You will find it lying in the main prayer hall. Around 1,200 artisans worked on the carpet, creating 9 different parts that were later assembled and weaved together into one piece. Lastly, remember to look up at the chandeliers. Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque has 7 luxe crystal chandeliers in the main prayer hall and other foyer entrances. All these chandeliers are made from brass, stainless steel, and around 40 kilograms of galvanized gold. This is incredibly massive. 14. KEUKENHOF Gardens. The beauty and creative outlay of the flowers from afar will leave you speechless. Open to visitors only for around 60 days a year, from mid-March to mid-May, KEUKENHOF Gardens is one of the top 5 most beautiful gardens in the world. KEUKENHOF has a historic castle. The 380-year-old castle is an embodiment of Dutch history and architectural design. Ensure you explore it to the fullest. Lastly, you can be lucky enough to witness the annual flower parade. Floats made up of bulb flowers will parade through the streets of Bollenstrik, passing the KEUKENHOF Gardens. Don't miss it. 13. Colosseum. The Colosseum, an iconic symbol of Imperial Rome, is the largest and most renowned amphitheater ever constructed in the Roman Empire. Emperor Vespasian of the Flavian dynasty initiated its construction in 72 AD, which was subsequently completed by his son Titus in 80 AD. The grand opening ceremonies of the Colosseum were marked by a series of 100-day spectacles, resulting in the demise of 5,000 animals and 2,000 gladiators. With no less than 80 entrances, this remarkable architectural marvel could accommodate approximately 50,000 spectators. To shield the crowd from the elements, a sail-like covering known as the velarium was suspended at the top of the attic. Today, the Colosseum remains one of Rome's most popular tourist attractions. 12. Landwasser Viaduct, Switzerland. The Landwasser astounds many people and even experts. The construction of the three main pillars of the viaduct in 1901 and 1902 was an architectural masterpiece. In contrast to most other bridges and viaducts of the time, a wooden falsework was not created. Instead, when building the Landwasser viaduct, the three central pillars were lifted individually using a hoist. Crane-like iron connecting bridges between the pillars made it possible to lift the stones, which were mined, carved, and transported on wagons. The structure appears even more majestic from below. A small information kiosk, a barbecue area, and toilets can be found in the square directly at the foot of the viaduct during the summer months. They are all perfect for spending some time, having something to eat or drink, and waiting for the next train that rolls over the viaduct. 11. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. This bell tower's unique beauty is owed partly to nature and partly to the mistake of its ambitious builders. While their error may be forgiven, the bell tower of Pisa's towering height during the Middle Ages is awe-inspiring. Moreover, their oversight has become our game. The unstable foundation has caused the iconic tilt that has made the tower world famous. Construction on the tower began in 1173 and was finally completed 2 centuries later. Over the years, extensive restoration efforts have been undertaken to stabilize the lean and prevent the tower's collapse. These efforts seem to have succeeded by 2008. Currently, the tower leans at 4 degrees, with the top approximately 5 meters off vertically from the base below. It is expected to maintain this position for the next 200 years. But would the Leaning Tower of Pisa be as celebrated without its distinctive tilt? Despite this inclination, the tower remains a stunning structure. 10. The Golden Pavilion. Golden Pavilion, or Kinkakuji, is a Zen temple in northern Kyoto whose top 2 floors are completely covered in gold leaf. Kinkakuji is an impressive structure overlooking a large pond and is the only building left of Yoshimitsu's former retirement complex. It has burned down numerous times throughout its history, and the present structure was rebuilt in 1955. Each floor represents a different style of architecture. The first floor was built in the Shinden style and was used for palace buildings during the Heian period. Its natural wood pillars and white plaster walls contrast yet complement the gilded upper stories of the pavilion. The second floor is built in the Bukke style used in samurai residences and has its exterior completely covered in gold leaf. Finally, the third and uppermost floor is built in the style of a Chinese Zen hall, gilded inside out and capped with a golden phoenix. The gardens hold a few other spots of interest, including Anmintaku Pond, which is said to never dry up, and statues that people throw coins at for luck. 9. Shwedagon Stupa, Myanmar. The Shwedagon Pagoda, situated on Singutura Hill in the center of Yangon, Rangoon, is considered the most sacred Buddhist stupa in Myanmar and one of the world's most important religious monuments. What sets this monument apart? The Shwedagon is a unique Buddhist reliquary stupa that showcases a distinct architectural style and is said to house relics of not only Gautama Buddha himself, but also relics associated with 3 previous Buddhas. This makes it different from other Buddhist reliquary stupas, which typically only contain relics of Gautama Buddha or mark specific events in his life. 8. Temple of Pure Water, Japan. Kiyomizu-dera, known as the Temple of Pure Water Spring, is a Buddhist temple in Kyoto, Japan. This site is famous for its impressive viewing platform, 3-story Koyasu Pagoda, and the pure waters of the Otowa Spring. Kiyomizu-dera is Kyoto's most popular tourist attraction. The main hall is an official national treasure of Japan, and UNESCO has listed the complex as a World Heritage Site. Many visitors consider the spring waters to have magical properties, and the 3 branches of it are each a name that tells what it contains: health, longevity, and exam success. No wonder then that Kiyomizu is popular with both young and old. However, if you wish to drink the water, remember you can only choose from 1 stream. Therefore, endeavor to choose wisely. One of the highlights of Kiyomizu-dera is the Koyasu, an impressive 3-story pagoda and a spire designed to house sacred texts and relics. Built between 1607 and 1633, it is an excellent example of Momoyama architecture. The structure is another national treasure of Japan and is particularly associated with granting trouble-free childbirth for those who visit it. Finally, Kiyomizu-dera is also the home of a famous statue of the Bodhisattva of Compassion Canon, aka Kwannon or Guan Yin in Chinese. The remarkable figure is credited to Kiyomizu-dera's founder Enshin. It has 10 heads and 1,000 arms. Being classified as a hidden Buddha or Hibutsu, the figure is only displayed to the public every 33 years. 7. Temple of Heaven. The largest of Beijing's religious building complexes, the Temple of Heaven is known for its rigorous symbolic layout, peculiar structure, and magnificent decoration. It is the most representative example of Chinese ritual architecture. The Temple of Heaven is located south of the Forbidden City. The total area of the Temple of Heaven Park is about 2.73 kilometers square. That's a similar size to Central Park in New York or twice the size of Hyde Park. The design of the main buildings is a combination of circles and squares, which symbolize the belief that heaven is round and earth square. The main purpose of the building is for prayers to reach heaven, and its architecture has fascinating details. A famous detail is the pillars in the Hall of Prayer for Good Harvests. The 4 dragon well pillars on the inner circle embody the 4 seasons. The 12 inner pillars represent 12 months of the year. The 12 outer pillars stand for 12 two-hour periods of the day. 2 groups of 12 pillars added up to 24 means the 24 solar terms, while the 3 groups of pillars represent the 28 mansions of the moon. Haven't you fallen in love with the hall already? The circular mound altar, Yuan Chu, in the south part of the Temple of Heaven is a magnificently built altar, lavishly decorated with carved dragons. The architect carved the number 9 into all possible elements of the altar to foreground the supremacy of the number in Chinese culture. Can you count how many tiles there are on the circular mound altar? 6. Three Gorges Dam. The Three Gorges Dam is a hydroelectric dam on the Yangtze River in China. Right now, it is the world's largest power station. The power generated from the dam is equivalent to burning 25 million tons of crude oil, or 50 million tons of coal. The concrete and steel dam is 7,661 feet long, almost 600 feet high, and about 510,000 tons of steel. That's enough to build the Eiffel Tower 60 times. However, this wonder of man has probably done more harm than good to its neighbors. At least 1.24 million people had to be relocated, and some plant species have been endangered. Over 100 towns and more than 1,600 settlements were submerged when the dam was built. In addition, over 1,000 archaeological and historical sites were also submerged and lost. Although the dam can withstand a large earthquake, should it ever collapse, millions of people living downstream will be in danger. 5. Ajanta Caves. You might be wondering if man could make caves. Yes, we can. The Ajanta Caves have proven that. These caves were made out of a vertical cliff above the left bank of the river Wagora in the hills of Ajanta. They are 30 in number, including the unfinished ones, of which 5 are sanctuaries and the rest are monasteries. You can walk through the caves on rock-cut staircases. The caves were not made at once. The excavation activity was carried out in 2 different phases, separated by an interval of about 4 centuries. The first phase coincides with the rule of the Satavahana dynasty from about the 2nd century to the 1st century, while the second phase corresponds to the Basim branch of the Vakataka dynasty with their Asmaka and Rishika feudatories in the 5th to 6th centuries. Generally, the cave includes masterpiece paintings of Buddhist religious art with figures of the Buddha and depictions of the stories that tell about the previous lives of Buddha. So, if you want to study the life of Buddha, the best place to visit is the Ajanta Caves. 4. Suez Canal, Egypt. Aside from the popular pyramids of Giza, the Suez Canal is another man-made wonder in Egypt. It is the longest canal without locks, and accidents rarely take place on the canal. The Suez Canal is considered to be the shortest link between the East and the West, due to its unique geographic location. It is an important international navigation canal, linking the Mediterranean Sea with the Red Sea at Suez. The unique geographical position of the Suez Canal makes it of special importance to the world and Egypt as well. And do you know that the Suez Canal dates back to ancient biblical Egypt? Research shows that Pharaoh had worked on the same site centuries ago. Pharaoh had constructed some canals, though not on the spot which is credited as the forerunner of the Suez Canal. Today, the Suez Canal makes more than $50 million a day. In the first quarter of 2022, Egypt reported an astounding revenue of $1.69 billion. This is higher than the revenue recorded in 2021 for the same period. The Suez Canal's future looks promising as it aims to break previous records, targeting total revenue of $10 billion by the end of 2023. 3. Statue of India. Have you seen the tallest statue in the world? This is one of the iconic creations of man. The Statue of India stands at 182 meters, making it taller than China's Temple Buddha by 29 meters, and the Statue of Liberty by 89 meters. The base of this magnificent statue alone is 58 meters. The statue faces the Narmada Dam and is located on a river called Sadhu Bet near Rajapipla on the Narmada River. It is located between the Satpura and the Vindhya Mountains near Kevadia town in Gujarat. Will you believe this surreal structure was built within 3.5 years? With just 3,000 workers, 300 engineers from Lawson and Tubro brought the statue to life. Around 129 tons of iron implements were obtained from nearly 100 million farmers in 169,000 villages across all states for the statue. The statue is so strong that it can withstand earthquakes and wind up to 100 kilometers per second. However, due to climatic conditions, the statue will turn green from its original bronze color in 100 years. So while it is still in its young age, why not visit now to catch the grandeur of the artwork? And when you get to the statue, you can still travel up. 4 high-speed lifts are fitted into the statue's legs. Each lift can carry 26 people to the top in about 30 seconds. Enjoy the ride. 2. Versailles. The Palace of Versailles is undeniably captivating. The grand structure served as the primary home for the French kings from Louis XIV to Louis XVI. The magnificence of this royal residence in Europe has been refined over the course of many generations by the collaborative efforts of architects, sculptors, decorators, and landscape architects. Their meticulous craftsmanship and creative vision have elevated this grand structure to the pinnacle of excellence, establishing it as the epitome of an ideal royal abode. For over a century, it has stood as a testament to unparalleled architectural splendor that has captivated the heart of everyone who sees it. You need to see this for yourself. 1. The new MSG Sphere in Las Vegas. And here is the latest man-made wonder from Las Vegas. After becoming home to the tallest Ferris wheel in the United States and the strongest light beam on Earth, Vegas has surprised the world again with the MSG Sphere, the largest spherical structure in the world. Las Vegas is now home to the planet's largest sphere, which was revealed to the world during the July 4th special event. The humongous LED ball displayed the American flag, an eyeball, a basketball, and then the Earth on the occasion. You would love to sit in the sphere, but it won't be open to the public for another 3 months. It's scheduled to open on September 29th this year. The bowl-shaped theater has the world's largest resolution wraparound LED screen, and as per reports, the exterior is decorated with 1.2 million hockey puck-sized LEDs. The exterior of the sphere will be illuminated every day and night with animations and other imagery. The venue will also host music and film events in the future. Are you eagerly waiting for September 29th? So am I. Enjoyed this video? Why not watch the next one on your screen?